Hey, here's a little bit of a vent and word to the wise and the not so wise. When you do not own property and you're on said property that is not yours, you are trespassing. There's no gray there. If you do not have permission to be there, you are trespassing. I'm really, passionate about this idea because I own property that sometimes people show up at and park on, and it burns me up. But also, the irony of it all really burns me up because nowhere on God's green earth do I see no trespassing private property signs more than I do in rural spaces. And it certainly isn't the idea that all people that live in rural spaces trespass, but no more in those rural spaces do I see those signs than I do also see people in those spaces using property that isn't theirs. It's crazy to me. It's really crazy to me. Hunting on property that's not theirs. I just came from a property that I'm doing some work on, and there were hunting blinds. There's an entire structure, a food plot, like all this stuff. And I called the landowner and I said, do you have a hunting lease on your property? I said, no, why? I said, well, because there's a corn food plot. There are tire tracks every which way. There's a stand like made to be more like a cabin, like a hunting stand. There are blinds all throughout the trees. There's a burn pile up here. It was insane. They're like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. So all this is going on, in a objectively illegal way. Illegal meaning they do not have permission. Whoever these people are do not have permission to be on this property. Number one. So number two, if you are a landowner already, I'm saying all this to say, if you are in a position where you're more of an absentee landowner, or you're using property in another state, or rather you own property in another state, so you're not there every day, all the time, you're also liable because of the crazy amount of precedent that we have in this country to be sued if something goes wrong while someone is illegally using your property. So even though they're doing the crime, you may pay more of a price if someone gets hurt or dies, which brings me to my last thing. If you're interested in a piece of property that's for sale, get permission to be there, whether you're working with a realtor or not. If you can't figure out how to get in touch with that landowner or how to work with a land real estate agent who can make that showing happen, don't go. Do not go. It's wrong. Like, principally, it's wrong. Your curiosity does not supersede the principle of the fact that it is not your property to be on. Doesn't matter that no one lives there. None of that matters. It's not yours. You cannot give yourself permission to take something else that is not yours. So get permission. Get permission. Not to mention, you could end up being one of those people who gets fatally injured or dies because you've decided you really like a piece of property and you want to go there and you're just so excited. So you're going to show up and you're going to do the dang on thing, except for you're not dressed right. So maybe someone looks at you through a bunch of woods thinking that you're some animal that you're not. And now you've got an arrow or a bullet in your back or your leg or your head. So stop trespassing. Stop hunting on people's property that isn't yours. It's not cool. It's not okay. And if you want to go by yourself, get permission and dress the part. End of my soapbox. Peace.